Hi, my name is Sandra and I want to welcome you to my channel, There Is More. Okay, so for this week, I want to talk about the faithfulness of God, and I'm gonna kind of go off of a little bit of my video from last week, which was the Go Again video, focused on Elijah and his servant in the rain and that whole process. And so with that, I've had a pretty interesting week. Been kind of fighting off some discouragement. I just thought it was funny because right after doing that video, the whole Go Again, and I have things in my life that I'm doing the same for as I was charging other people to do. I'm in that place too. So it's things that I'm, going again for and trusting God for and believing God for. Just a few, challenges here and there, and just like staying focused and just like, God, I trust you with these things in my heart. And so one thing that came up for me is the scripture, Psalm 37. And so I'm sure if you've been in the church long enough, you know this scripture because you hear it a lot. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He'll give you the desires of your heart. That's something that you hear a lot. And so with that, I just want to read verse 3, 4, and 5. My best friend has suggested, the whole editing videos and having the scripture on the screen when I read it. I haven't yet had time to learn all that. So for now, I'm going to read it from my phone and y'all can just follow along. And so it's Psalm 37, verse 3, 4, and 5. So verse 3 says, "Trust in the Lord and do good, dwell in the land and feed on His faithfulness. Delight yourself also in the Lord, and He shall give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord, trust also in Him, and He shall bring it to pass." And so I absolutely love this scripture. It's so encouraging. The thing that I want to focus on though is verse 3, which for a long time I've heard 4 and 5, but as I was reading this, verse 3 really stood out to me, and the last part of that where it says feed on His faithfulness. And as I was just thinking about that, it's so important, because trusting, believing, hoping, having faith, all these things are byproducts of knowing that God is faithful and He's good. And so for me, as I was having this really interesting week, I just decided, I'm going to feed on God's faithfulness. And so what I did was I dug through some stuff, and one of the things that I went and found was last year I had printed out my whole history of my 3 years of ministry school, my whole payment history, and just how much people have given to me, the anonymous donations and all that. I went and dug that out, and I was reading that. I was just like blown out of my mind, because I was reminded of just how good God is and how faithful He is. And one of the things that I went and found that is so precious to me is this painting that my friend had done. She did it kind of interesting, so I can't lift it up and show you guys, but I have it on the table right now. I'll show you a part of it. Like, this is a part of the painting. She did like in 4 different pieces, and so it's a painting of a butterfly. It's absolutely beautiful. So I think it was my 20th or 21st birthday. I forget which one it is exactly. But what happened was, right before that, I was in my room. I was doing something, and I heard the Lord say, "What do you want for your birthday?" Now listen, this is my first year of ministry school. I'm learning how to hear the voice of God and knowing that He does speak, and He loves to speak to me. So I get this whole, "What do you want for your birthday?" And I'm thinking, I don't know if that's Jesus, I don't know if that's God, but just in case it is the Lord, I'm gonna say something. And at this time at Bethel, they have prophetic art is a big deal, and I just loved seeing the art during worship and just different times. And I was like, you know what, God, I would love a painting. And I forgot about it, because again, it could just be my own thoughts, right? So I didn't think too much about it. Didn't tell anybody that I even had that. So my birthday comes around, and some friends come over, they celebrate me. It was beautiful. My friend Anne hands me something, and as I open and I look at it, it is a painting. And she said, "Yeah, I just feel like God wanted me to do this for you, to paint you something." And that's part of the painting that I just showed you guys, and there's this. And I was just like in awe, like, okay, so I did hear God, and he cares about the desires of my heart. He gave me a painting just exactly as I wanted for my birthday. And the funny thing is, she painted me a butterfly, and one of my spiritual moms came over, and they don't even know each other. She came and she's like, hey, I was at the store, and I feel like the Lord wanted me to buy you this shirt. Oh, I don't have it right now, but the shirt, it has a butterfly on it. So it was just like, I thought there was like a theme there, and it was like absolutely beautiful for me. And so that's something that I was like reminding myself of. And as I looked at this painting, I was like, God, you are faithful. And the other thing that I was thinking about was in 2013, I actually went and through my photos, because I had taken a picture of this check. So in 2013, I was in Reading for a conference, and one of my spiritual moms, she's from London. I hadn't seen her in a while because I live in Oregon, and she lives in Reading now, but she was traveling, so I hadn't seen her in a while, and she was in town, so we decided to hang out on a Sunday. And so, but before that, I had joined this multi-level marketing business, and I was in it for a couple of months, and this particular month, it was October, and I really felt the Lord was leading me to doing like an entire month's fast, like not being on social media for a month. And the thing is, though, with this business that I was in at the time, there was this promotion that was happening, and the promotion was, you get $500 for selling a certain amount of product and stuff like that. And so social media is a huge way to promote this business. So when the Lord kind of was leading me to this fast and being off of social media, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I'm going to miss this promotion if I'm off of social media for an entire month, because that's the duration of, getting that promotion. And so I was really hesitant, and I was in need of money as well. It was a Saturday, and I was meeting my spiritual mom on Sunday, and I was thinking, God, I need $100. And I was thinking so much about it that I was thinking, I'm just going to borrow money from somebody. And so Sunday came around, I meet up with my spiritual mom, like we're just meeting for the first time in a long time. I didn't tell her anything at all. She didn't even know what was going on in my life yet. And so we go to this Thai restaurant, and we sit down. Before we even really talk much, the first thing she does is she hands me $100 check. And she said, the Lord told me to give you this yesterday. And I'm just thinking, I was thinking about this yesterday. I needed $100, and I was thinking about the day before of how I was going to borrow money, and there was God already talking to somebody to bless me with it. And I was just like, wow, just floored, And so we finished eating, and I don't tell her anything about the business that I'm doing as far as I know. I didn't tell her like, oh, I needed this much money or anything, none of that. And so we finished eating, and I'm still like so thankful for the $100. We finished eating, and she's writing something. I'm thinking she's writing the tab, like signing the receipt. And when she's done, she hands me the paper, and I look at it, and it's a check for $400. She said the Lord told me to add to it. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, there is $500 total, and that's the exact amount of money that I was going to be missing by getting off of social media for that month. And there's a Lord like, listen, I'm going to take care of it. Don't worry about it. And of course, so I was off of social media for that entire month. And just these two things and other things as well are what I really focused on this week, and just like feasting or just feeding on his faithfulness. And as I did that, I was so encouraged, and I was reminded that God, you are good and you are so faithful. And that helps me with the whole go again, trust again, believe again, and just all these crazy different things that I'm believing him for that feel so impossible. As I was like feeding on his faithfulness, I was reminded that he's done it before. And he always does above and beyond what I can ask, think, or imagine. And one thing that he always reminds me of is I cannot do less than what I did before, because he always does from glory to glory, more and more. And so I just want to encourage you guys with this. And as you're trusting again and believing again and hoping again, there's those moments where just like, I don't know, like it feels so hard, I'm discouraged. In those moments, just feed on his faithfulness, because delighting, trusting, and hoping in all these different things are so much easier when we feed on his faithfulness. And so I just wanted to encourage you guys with that. Just, again, feed on his faithfulness in those moments that it's so difficult to continue to go again and to trust him and to believe. And so I just want to pray again before I end this. And so, God, thank you that you are so faithful, and that absolutely nothing is impossible with you, God. So I pray for each person, wow, that is watching this, God, that whatever area it is that they're trusting in you, hoping, God, and having faithful, God, that they would just feed on your faithfulness, God, and be reminded that you are so good, and whatever it is, God, that even feels so impossible, God, that you will do it, and that, yes, just like Elijah, God, it will rain, because it is impossible for you to do nothing, and nothing is impossible with you. So I just bless y'all with this, and that you would have a great week and feed on his faithfulness. All right, y'all. Bye.